And we're back for a second time in a day, mate.
Number 2, baby. Number 2.
The ultimate twist, you could say, that is in the end.
There's always a twist at the end. Wow.
Yeah, okay. All right. Devil's Chord, baby. This is our Devil's Chord review. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers. We should have like a spoilers button that we press for the start of these so people know.
What, River?
Yeah, River going. Spoilers. Was that a bit predictable?
It's a bit cringe, but I like it. I like a bit of cringe in my life.
Well, get into about an hour of cringe.
Oh no!
I'm kidding.
Oh
guys,
no!
Guys.
Well, again, we haven't expressed apart from the odd smirk at each other.
Yeah, we watched it together. There was a few smirks in the last act, but yeah, we haven't spoken about it, so it'll be a lot of fun here. One I was very excited for, so it'll be cool. It'll be good to talk about it. I think, which will be exciting.
Yeah,
you were always worried.
I'm just not a fan of like musical episodes, which is weird because I fucking love music so much. Who doesn't?
Well, this one wasn't really that as much musically as I think a few of us may have thought. But yeah, we're going to talk about The Devil's Chord today, of course, written by Russell T. Davies and directed by... Is it Ben Chazelle? It is Ben Chazelle. There we go. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. On TikTok at 50Doctor Who. We're going to be doing this every single week, aren't we?
Yeah, that's why we're here, baby.
So without any further ado, let's get into a special edition of the 50% theme this week.
Great. Yep. Can you fire away?
Yeah, I will. Let me just quickly read the good old synopsis here. The Doctor and Ruby meet the Beatles, but discover that the all-powerful maestro has changed history. London becomes a battleground with the future of history at stake. Okay, yeah, so I was excited. And look, is this the episode? And okay, this is the whole one expectation things sometimes maybe getting in the way. Is this the episode I wanted? Probably not. Is it the episode I needed? Also, probably not. I think it's a good episode. It's all right. I just think it got a bit lost. I think it got a little lost. I think obviously the Beatles come in at the end and sort of save the day pressing those notes, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like they literally had to use audio cues from the one dialogue scene they had with them just to remind the audience of where the Beatles characters.
I don't like music. I just want to go home.
I think if the Beatles had been, and obviously I'm a Beatles fan, right? And so you're all going to say, it's because you're a Beatles fan.
Are you a Beatles fan?
But I feel like just the nature of storytelling that they would have been more interesting if they were along for the whole ride with the Doctor and Ruby, and then they come and they find that music at the end and they play it. I just think that would have paid off a bit better than what we got. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. No, I agree.
What did you think? Broad strokes of the episode.
I think I liked a lot of parts of it.
Yes, I agree.
I need a rewatch, man. Mm-hmm. I need a fat rewatch.
There's a lot going on.
That doesn't really help this review, but I feel like on a rewatch I'm going to really enjoy it. I mean, there's so much to dissect. I think getting lost is a good point, and I also think that there's a lot to take in. At once, and a lot goes on, I think. Yeah,
it's hard because I was watching it and I was like, why isn't this quite clicking for me? Like about halfway through, I was like, I'm just not that into it as much as I want to be. And I think it was like, and not that you need side characters to make a story, but I think that it was sort of missing that element of it.
I don't think it had the energy of episode 1 as much.
It didn't, and it slowed. It was good to have moments where they slowed down and they talk about Susan, which fucking, you're telling me that's not coming back? They spent like 2 minutes talking about Susan.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Which was cool. And those moments where they slowed down, those moments where they went to future Earth or present day Earth where it was destroyed and stuff. That stuff was awesome. But between that, I just felt like there was times where it didn't find momentum. Once again, we have the Sonic doing a random thing that it can do.
What was that?
I don't know. And that's the thing. They didn't even explain it. It was just, it just silenced everything. And then all of a sudden Russell writes in a line where it's like, oh, but we can only use tricks on these monsters
that is
once.
Fun. It's like, no, just once. It's like, okay.
It's like that was a cheap way out. So now you're writing that we can't do it again. It's weird.
Did it just isolate all sound that the maestro lost track of where they were?
I don't know, man. But okay, let's do some positives.
There's so much to
There's so much to talk about with this one. It's a weird one to talk about. It really is. It looks really nice. It looked awesome all the way through. It looked great. Yep. Even from like the duller, darker moments, it looked good. And then like you have those beautiful moments on Abbey Road at the end where the sun's in like almost golden hour, gloomy. Weird fucking moment.
You literally, like, we're supposed to keep our thoughts to ourselves, and Aiden goes, "What the fuck was the point of that?" We're supposed to be silent. We're supposed to just not give our thoughts. The fuck was that? You couldn't keep it to yourself.
I was baffled.
What is it?
It wasn't even part of the musical number. Anyways, other big pro, I think Jinx was great.
Absolutely.
She was great. We got a lot of her towards the end. I still don't really know.
Yeah.
I
don't really get.
I don't get it. I needed more.
So it's the Toymaker's Legions.
Yeah, and then they say it's her daughter.
The Toymaker's daughter.
Yeah, I think.
This is what I don't like. I was like so fucking confused about all that shit. Like I don't know if it was explained. Maybe I'm just a fucking dumbass and everyone's gonna be like, what do you mean you didn't get it?
They explained it, but I definitely understand, particularly for new viewers, there's a lot of info dumping about the Toymaker here.
What if you I think even like someone like my fucking parents would be a bit like, who again?
Yeah.
The who?
The who?
The Toymaker.
Neil Patrick Harris.
From the Giggle.
Oh, Barney Stinson.
Yes, Mum. the biggest fan of How I Met Your Mother.
But I agree with you. Like I think you summed it up really well. Where there's lots of really good moments,
but I just don't think it like
connected.
The energy wasn't there. I think
it was for an episode that had like a massive musical number at the end, had some great little musical bits throughout it. It just felt kind of dull in parts.
Yeah,
and I don't know why. I can't quite put my finger on it yet.
Me either.
Just didn't gel.
But I didn't hate it. That's the thing.
I know. And I feel like we are being quite critical of it right now. But it is
a rewatch will definitely help.
I agree. I think I will enjoy it a lot more on rewatch because I will get rid of that Beatles side of me, and that musical side of me.
You thought they were going to be in a lot more than they were, or just you thought they should have been present in the side.
It does become one of those things. Like even look at the BBC One synopsis here. The fifth word in here is the Beatles. You know, and like it becomes one of those things where we've got the iconography of Abbey Road. We're using the phrase the Beatles, but we didn't really do a Beatles episode, and I think you can't really go back and do a Beatles episode now.
No Beatles music.
No Beatles music. And as much as I loved that song at the start, and that was really great, they're walking out the TARDIS, that 60s song, you are just watching it like, why is this not a Beatles song? And I know we know behind the scenes why it's not. Those songs are too expensive to use. But you just can't help but think, why is it not a Beatles song? Ruby has just said, let's go to the 60s who? Let's go to the Beatles. You just need the Beatles song. Like I'm sorry, but you do. If you go into if you're going to see the Beatles and they made it clear they're going to see the Beatles, they dress up, they walk out to Abbey Road, you need a Beatles song playing.
Surely they can afford it.
Am
I nuts?
I don't know. Surely you can get one.
BBC and Disney money. I don't know how it works.
I mean, why don't you just cut okay, this is one of the things I really didn't like about the episode was that the CGI music notes, cringe as fuck.
I didn't mind them. I thought they were overused and a bit.
I just thought it looked lame.
It looked a bit ropey sometimes.
It's just one of those. It's one of those things where I'm going to show it to my parents and I'm going to be like looking away in those moments.
There's a lot of that maybe in this episode that I'm going to be like, oh.
That was this very camp episode,
yeah.
And I like the campiness of Jinx, but there was just certain moments like with the music notes flying around and obviously, I mean, I like the song and dance at the end, but there was just a little bit too much of that at times I was like, I don't know what the stakes are right now. You forget that it's end of world stakes because of certain silly things.
I think it did a good job at least. It did still a little bit was trying to, introduce a new audience where like, because people would be asking, well, the world doesn't end because Ruby's from 2024.
Yeah.
And then I think going back and showing that like events can change and it can change the future is a good way of showing like new viewers. And I think it added a little bit of stakes, but I think my biggest issue is that like, and I hope this isn't the end of, and I doubt it is, I think, what is it kind of alluding to a bit of team up with
Yeah,
all these
Avengers of
almost the Avengers of evil,
bad guys. What are they called? The Thunderbolts? Is that the Marvel
the
one?
Thunderbolts. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, like that. You know, when Neil Patrick Harris comes back and Jinx Monsoon, and they're all kind of together. Sure, but I feel like I kind of understood the toy makers' motive. I'm a bit confused with is Maestro just evil for evil's sake?
Because the toy maker's like addicted to the game and sticking to the rules of the game and stuff. Whereas the Maestro, it's like
I hate music.
It's like what
No
are
music.
Yeah, and even like the doctor pulled up something about like what are the rules or something, and I was like, I don't know what the rules are.
I don't either.
I just don't get it. I don't.
She also mentioned the salt.
Yeah, because she was like, you wrapped my daddy in salt and put him in a box.
So, but is that referring to the salt in Wild Beyonder?
No, at the end of the giggle, Kate says to Mel, get the box and surround it by salt or something like that.
My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Shooting a Millie.
That's such a quiet line, though. That's like ADR. Like, who would remember that? Like
me.
You, yeah.
Shooting a Millie, great. Again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't really have, I don't know. Where do we go from here? Well, should we go through the plot a little bit and see sort of where we go wrong? Not wrong. It's so hard. I
can't believe I fucking like Space Babies more.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Isn't the universe mad? I didn't hate it. I just think there was a lot of talk and hype around this episode.
Yeah.
And I think what I would have enjoyed more is it was beautiful, the scene with just the TARDIS light and then the light on the piano with Maestro playing. I would have loved more scenes like that. I thought the episode was going to be more like that. Scenes with like
more weirder.
Yeah, a bit of like dialogue being sung and songs and all that. And I mean, I know there was a lot of songs, but it was mostly just like, I'm playing a trumpet, I'm playing the drums. Like,
yeah, I thought when Maestro goes, we're going to have a music off. My eyes rolled so far into the back of my brain. And I thought, this is something we've seen in TV shows a million times before. We're going to have a battle of the bands.
Yeah.
It's like, and then I just don't think it was that exciting the way it was executed as well.
It's literally in the last Marvel movie I ever paid to go see, Multiverse of Madness. They do the same thing with
the visual stuff as well. Yeah.
It was very much like that.
Yeah.
And I think Russell is a bit of a Marvel simp, and he's trying to incorporate stuff like that. I think that was very similar to just what Sam Raimi did.
Yeah.
Dare I say, maybe even a little better. I don't know. I remember enjoying that scene in the theater. I've only seen it once, and I've only seen Devil's Called once. But I think the scenes. Where I think my issue is that I need to understand why characters are doing things, and I just didn't know why Maestro was.
Yeah.
And I hate characters who are just evil because they're evil.
Yeah.
And why are they evil? Because they are.
Yeah.
Because they're evil. I hate that. I need to have an understanding of why a character is. Why am I supposed to care?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it did what I feared was going to do it. Like, I think it relied way too much on the idea that everyone's just going to love the performance. And there's not really much. If that was done by an actress who isn't like Jinx Monsoon, people would be saying, "What the fuck was that shit?"
Yeah,
it's because Jinx is so flamboyant and theatrical.
Yeah, they're amazing.
That it worked.
Yeah,
I think if it was some dud, I think it would have fucking stank.
Yeah,
a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's mean. I don't know. Am I going a bit too far? I don't know.
No, I think we're saying this episode lacks a lot of energy and that Kenergy that we had in Space Babies.
It needed Kenergy.
But if we didn't have Jinx being as amazing as they were, I don't think it definitely would have been a lot flatter. A big thing for me was like the music off. I think that should have been the big musical number.
Okay.
So instead of just tacking on a musical number at the end, which I don't know why it's there. I like the song. There's always a twist in the end, but it just was tacked on. It wasn't.
I thought
it should have been part of the story.
I agree. I think if as cheesy as it would be, I think the idea of defeating Jinx through it's like music is what she hates and wants to destroy, so they beat them with beat her with a song.
Yeah, that's what I think would have been sick.
But that didn't happen.
No, it was just. I mean, they did with like notes and melodies and stuff.
What
but,
the Beatles playing, finishing the lost chord?
But yeah, that's the thing. I was like, what is this lost?
Who was
chord
that little shit? The little kid.
Little.
He was at the end. Remember?
He was. He's coming back. That motherfucker. He's back.
So, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Was it? Did Jinx Monster? Sorry, did
I think
Maestro,
he was part of Maestro, connected to Maestro.
So yeah, well, I think we all know she's going to come back anyway. But it's like, well, I guess that kind of confirms it.
Yeah, but I don't know when because I don't think they're filmed anymore. So, but
the volume is not in public. Aiden.
That's true. Out of public eye. So going through, we get the Beatles. I think the performances were okay of the Beatles. Definitely,
I thought like music.
Definitely
I'm
didn't look at
home.
anything. When you see it sit there in the 4K looking at them, you're like, these are not the Beatles.
It didn't bother me as much as I
No,
thought it would.
it's fine. You get past it.
It really didn't bother me as
I
much.
thought really funny. I like the song that they were playing where it's like, it's my dog.
I don't have a cat. I only have a dog.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. And then like going around and like seeing them recording like orchestral pieces and it
Who
sounding
was the
bad.
other singer? Is she
Don't know
some
who she
big
was.
singer?
Don't know.
She must be some.
There was a line from Shooty that I think said who it was, but I couldn't hear the line. It was a bit mumbly.
Okay. So where was like Ringo and shit? They didn't. I don't think Ringo had a single line.
No, I don't think so.
Justice for Ringo.
Yeah.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Preach it, sister.
It's Peace and Love Day.
And then we get that. I really like the scene where it's like cross-cutting between Millie and Shooty talking to Paul and Leonard.
Leonard. Leonard
Hofstadter.
Leonard, is that the bloke from Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Nice.
Talking to Leonard Hofstadter.
Nice. Young Sheldon.
Lennon.
Yeah, that's fine. I found that scene kind of boring, actually. I was like, I feel like it could have been done. I feel like the dialogue could have been a bit more.
I thought the cross-cutting made it interesting.
Energy, come on. Where's the energy?
Energy. And then like Jinx is rocking up in the reflection, so the Doctor gets the piano on the roof, and we get a really nice scene. Obviously, we have the grandmother talking about Susan scene, which was really nice.
Yeah, so you just think, any thoughts on that?
I don't think you throw 2 minutes of exposition about Susan without Susan coming back somehow. Call me crazy. But I think with the amount of exposition they've had to throw in these episodes, that's like unnecessary exposition. So it has to come back. Like, there has to be a reason for it being there.
It's pretty cool that we have, it's cool that like, you can now watch Unearthly Child, not on iPlayer obviously, and think, at the same time the Devil's Chord is happening. I think that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
Well done, Russell.
Well done.
Pat yourself on the back.
But then we get a really beautiful scene, which is probably my favorite scene of the episode, which is Ruby on the keys.
So that's her theme, yeah?
Ruby's theme, but then it's also kind of like it's technically Ruby's theme, but in law, it's kind of not because she wrote it for her friend who got like backstabbed by a girlfriend or something.
I love how Jinx is like the lesbian song.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But that's really nice when she plays, and you can see how it affects people, and you see how music affects people. I thought that was a really powerful part of the episode.
We'll do shots of people going to their windows and opening them up and looking out, and it's going to be amazing.
Well, I liked, especially like the old lady being like,
that was Tom Baker's costume woman.
I knew I recognized her.
Yeah, she's the costume department woman.
How did you know that?
I'm just good.
Do you be Twitter?
Twitter.
Be on the old X.
Sorry. Hey, Twitter world.
But yeah, so that was lovely. And then it's then we get into like the Jinx chase around where we get the cop out Sonic trick, which we've sort of spoken about. Or was that was before then? It doesn't really matter.
Here, and I don't want to sound like I'm contradicting myself here a little bit, but like I love an emotional doctor, but it's like if she's gonna be like, if she's gonna be crying like every episode, I'm like, it kind of takes away from the weight.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It does, yeah.
Because I feel like, and I love the crying scene in Ruby Road.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. And I know some people complain about that they don't like an emotional doctor. That's not like me at all. But I do want it to hit specifically at like the right time.
Yeah.
And I feel like we didn't really go into, I I don't understand. So the doctor's really scarred from the bi-generation. I didn't get that. I didn't get that vibe from.
No, they were loving the bi-generation.
Yeah,
mate.
I didn't get that
They were
vibe.
jumping around.
Yeah,
they were, and he was like, I only just survived." I was like, "You played fucking catch, mate. You played catch. Wasn't that hard? And it was 2v1."
Yeah, I don't understand. That's what I don't get. It's like, I remember seeing all the set photos from them filming that scene. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And I'm like, well, I don't mind. I like the fact that maybe he's like scarred from it, but it's like,
I wish we got that in the 60th.
But I didn't get that from at least Shooty's doctor. I know David's a bit like, well, what about me?
Yeah.
But
Shooty's jumping around like crazy. Yeah. And I think,
do you see Russell doing everything? It's like, with David Tennant, he might be dead. Like, his doctor might be dead.
okay.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's like, okay, all right.
Why do it then?
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's like, I prefer this route with it being a hard thing, the bi-generation. I much prefer that than what we got in the 60th. But it does just feel like we've just done a big leap.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden the doctor's really hurt and scarred by the bi-generation.
It's fine, but to me, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And it's like, is this an emotional weight that this doctor's going to carry now? It's like, why wasn't that really set up?
Yeah. I also think we didn't need to go there. I thought like it again ties into like us maybe getting fed a little bit too much information too quickly. Like we didn't necessarily really need to go down the bi-generation chat at this moment, I thought. And it's chats like that I thought bogged down the episode, because then we're doing an exposition piece on the toy maker. And especially for us who know all this shit already, it's like, yeah, that's wriggle on. I understand they're trying to explain it for new audiences, but then for new audiences, I think it gets slightly overwhelming.
That's the thing that upset me the most. I feel like the episode felt like it was a lot more emotional than it was.
I agree.
I think it felt like it was a lot more emotional and serious than it was.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a shame, because I generally thought it would be more. I mean, we've been saying this for fucking ages, that like, we know there's going to be a big thing in like, well, at least a big emotional point in. I think the issue these days is like everything has to be like, oh, world ending. It's like, well, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
Yeah, it's not gonna end.
You know.
Yeah. And Maestro wanted nuclear warfare so that they could hear silence on the Earth.
No, I think it might have been referring to, how Ruby's like, even a gust of wind through a tree makes a sound.
Yeah.
I think it was I think she was like, yeah, winter in like in a Fallout world. I don't know. I don't know.
I really don't know, man.
I don't know. That's the thing.
Know.
It's
Yeah. So the Doctor takes Ruby, and we see that it looks really nice. The visuals there of all the crumbling city and stuff.
Yeah, it does actually. It looks great. Like,
and then we go into that sort of exposition-y stuff where we go into that dark room, and Jinx is all like,
I love that.
Yeah, I love that scene. I
wanted more of that.
Visually, yeah.
Just visually, yeah. I think it kind of reminded me of like the Joker 2 trailer. Like,
yeah, that was cool. I liked when Maestro was like,
oh, please. I had a fat eye roll at that.
Well, and the TARDIS is like lighting up. And it's
the beginning. The dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun.
yeah, that was a bit rough, but I liked it coming out of the what the fuck's it called? The jukebox. The round things. The jukebox playing it. I thought that was cool. That nice one shot as they came down was cool as well. But
do you know what I wish they did? Like, first of all, I don't know why the jukebox hasn't been used yet.
Yeah, money. Can't license the songs.
Okay, great, but they did play a song, so why don't they just pretend to? Why wasn't there a shot of like Shooty going like, and it going, and it goes, dun 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 dun. Abbey Road Studios.
Changes.
That's not the Beatles. Ruby, something's gone wrong with time. Let's save the day. David Bowie, you weren't in the Beatles.
I am now.
What was the part at the beginning about with with the conductor?
I think she just stole his music.
Nice. Oh, they said something happened in 19 or 16 or whatever, 1920 or 1930. That if he was the greatest composer who ever lived,
but he never had his break,
then he died.
So I think it was just like a pre-titles tease where Jinx was just stealing music from Maestro.
Why am I so confused by a fucking kids' TV show episode?
Because we look so deep into it.
I know we shouldn't, but it's like, come on. I mean, this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like,
the TARDIS has gone absolutely crazy. All the lights are flickering.
a lot of Dutch angles. You notice that? Dutch
Yeah,
clips.
they love filming the TARDIS in like weird spots. I don't mind it. I'm kind of here for it. Ruby's been thrown around like it's crazy. Rubes. Don't call me Rubes.
That was the last episode.
Yeah, it was. And then the TARDIS like kind of shuts down. Did it? Did it? What
How
happened?
does it shut down? It's the fucking TARDIS.
But didn't all the lights turn off?
Yeah, I think the Doctor was like,
Putting on
again,
silent.
it's just plot shit. It was like, the only place we can land is
yeah.
the last place we were. It's like, why?
Okay, that's how it works.
Why is it
That's how it works.
why is it like that, Russell?
And then they go back and they have a face off in Abbey Road.
I feel like that scene should have hit harder.
Yeah, it just didn't. I just wasn't feeling it. It just felt generic. It just really felt like a generic ending to me. And it wasn't bad. I just thought it was the predictable route.
How does a Doctor fit into a small drum?
Oh, that stuff was silly, wasn't it? Them being pulled across the floor by music notes, being put into drums and stuff. It was Doctor Who can be silly, and now the world knows that. Thanks to Disney Plus.
So the Beatles saved the day. So did the Doctor mess up the chord?
Yes.
And that's why it didn't work.
Doctor wasn't allowed. No, Doctor needed to play a special chord.
The hidden chord. The missing chord.
Yeah, that sent Maestro.
Right, but he messed it up.
He messed it up, man. He fucked up.
Right, and then
Dog.
The piano went flying out into the corridor.
That was silly.
John Lennon happens to be walking down. Oh, there seems to be some notes.
Yeah, he really just happens to be.
I
guess they were recording at the time, but so maybe they'll go in for a recording session. But I just think again, like that's, and I know it's the whole money thing and shit like that, but that's the moment where should Paul McCartney or John Lennon go up to the piano and start playing like a riff from? Well, it's the first album, so like
I might use that
Twist and
later.
Shout on the first album, I think.
I think the song at the end was like Twist and Shout off Wish. It was like
Timu.
Yeah, it was like it was the Twist and Shout Doctor Who version of "There's always a twist at the end."
But it should have been like a little.
I might save that for later.
I know it's expensive, and I know I'm not making the show, but I just think it's just one of those things that you just get question marks about it.
I think it's sometimes Russell maybe gets a bit carried away, and he's like, and I respect the fucking balls on the fella, but it's like he was probably just like, the episode will be so good with these performances, we don't even need the Beatles. Like they can be there, but we don't. The audience would be like, we didn't even need the Beatles.
Kill yourself.
I'm sure it played.
It said kill yourself.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear it.
Sorry, we didn't have the sound come through the speaker then.
I'm sure it played.
Kill yourself.
Okay, we still don't have it. Okay, never mind.
It's played apparently. I don't know. Do you think I have a little bit of a point there where it's like maybe Russell was like the episode will be so good that they won't even question if the Beatles are in it much or if there's a Beatles song?
Yeah. I think the easy argument that people are going to make against me is that I'm a Beatles fan, and me saying that should have been Beatles music is because I'm a Beatles fan. But I think I would have said this about any musician. Their music, so bloody old mate across the road.
He loves to do it.
Bloody, I think
does that man fucking stop?
I think he's building a boat at the moment.
That's a bit weird.
I looked in his garage. It looked like a boat. He's building a dinghy, I think.
Can you legally do that?
If it floats, it's a boat.
That's true. Just put it on a t-shirt. If it floats, it's a boat. He loves to do it, doesn't he?
He's chipping away right now.
New fans of the show will not realise, but this man has been doing this for many years.
Many years. We start recording and he goes, I'm going to make a boat today.
Kill yourself.
Oh boy.
We got the speaker working now. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
no. Sorry, your point though, just because you're a Beatles fan.
Yeah, I feel like people are just going to say that to me, but it's like if it was an Amy Winehouse thing, if it was a muso I hadn't even heard of before, I'd expect to hear their music at least once in the episode. And with how integral playing music and recording music is to the story, I just can't get past it. It's just like it's a wall, not a door. I can't open it. I'm stuck at this bloody wall, mate.
That's fair enough. What's your favorite Beatles album?
I really like Revolver.
That's right, you do, don't you?
I like that one a lot.
Sgt. Pepper's is the GOAT.
Sgt. Pepper's is very, very good. Very good.
None of that in this episode.
No, and White Album. Can't go past the White Album. There's just like not a lot of Beatles references or anything like that. No, there doesn't need to be. There just need to be a fucking song. Anyways,
I generally do think Russell was just like, it won't matter. The performances will. That was my biggest fear. I was like, I hope they're not just relying on the performances being really good. Because again, I think take away just the great actors, I think you'd be left with a pretty. It's funny though as well because like you're right, like the marketing has been shown this episode a lot, and it's obviously on the double bill. It's
a fucking jet plane flying over us now, mate.
Is this Russell trying to make me stop talking about the truth? He's bombing us.
Russell right now be like,
Silence, girl.
I'm sorry, Russell. You know I love you. I just, what was my point? Yeah, that fucking plane. I think, they obviously had a lot of faith in it. All right, that's okay.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I will enjoy it more on rewatch. I can tell you now. I will.
Same. I hate how negative I sound because I didn't hate my life watching it.
No, neither. I rolled my eyes a few times, but like I definitely like enjoyed it. And there was so many scenes throughout it where I thought like this is lovely. This is no Starbeast situation.
No, absolutely not.
But I know I'm glad we got this episode. I'm a little bit bummed that we finally did a Beatles episode and it just wasn't a Beatles episode. But hey, I'm just a Beatles fan.
This is your most anticipated episode.
It was.
Well, so I feel like
let's hope Boom's good.
Well, that's the thing. It's like that was your most anticipated, so I feel a bit sorry for you because I went in like this is my lowest with Rogue. Like out of the two, I don't really care about. So if I wanted one to not really be great, it would have been this one. I suppose in my head, it's like it doesn't really matter if I don't like it because it's like it's not. I don't really like musicals.
Yeah.
I think I could have liked a musical.
Yeah.
If it was.
I think if it. Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't really a musical though, was it?
By no means. There's musical number at the end. That's it. And then Ruby plays the piano in the middle.
I suppose Jinx, Maestro sang a little bit in the.
But they weren't songs. They were like 2 lines with keyboard behind it.
I'm trying to defend it here a little bit.
Well, that's not. I mean, it's not a criticism saying it's a musical or not a musical.
I suppose like. So what did you think of the? That's the thing, Ruby. You need to know we're traveling with me. There's always a twist at the end. Thoughts?
It was. I think you had the opportunity to do it in narrative, and then instead they chose to do it. That all of a sudden there's a musical number with rain and stuff in the hallways for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And in the world of a musical, I mean, even then, like you wouldn't just get rain flowing down a hallway. There'd always be like a reason for it. They just did it because they could. And it felt like, yeah, if you wanted to do it, you should have done it as part of the story and not this tacked on thing. I like the song. The song's catchy. There's always a twist in the end. Murray on the piano.
Yes, Murray did cameo. And Susan Twist was in it.
Susan Twist was serving that tea.
Yeah.
She got that. I bet she got some fucking tea in the finale, let me tell you.
Yeah. Any theories about that?
Fucking loves tea.
Okay.
Susan Twist loves tea.
I thought the ending song was catchy, but it felt a bit directionless. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I would love to hear Russell's reason for not having it defeat Maestro. I think it would have been a lot more of a powerful moment and memorable moment, because like the Beatles were hardly in it, and it's like, oh, they saved the day, but they hadn't been in it for 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
But, oh, they're back.
Because like you could have that song going, "There's always a twist in the end," and then you cut into like Maestro being like, "No,
turn it off, turn off the lights."
Like that just would have been so much more interesting.
Off. Yeah, it would have been. I would love to know Russell's reasoning for not doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can tell you.
It looked pretty.
It looked very pretty, that sequence. Okay, here's my one. I suppose the last thing I really have to say about it. Have the Doctor and Ruby been traveling together for 6 months?
I don't know why.
Because when they say, when the Doctor says, all right, where are you from at the moment in your timeline or whatever?
Oh, yeah. And it was
she says June, July 2024.
I did get the vibe as well and I wish this was done a little bit differently. Like, she seemed a little bit, they seemed a little bit too comfortable at the beginning as like companions. Like, it's like, how long have they been there for? And I feel like I kind of missed that bit. Because they'd just gone on their first adventure, and it seemed like they'd been together for a long time.
I didn't mind it, because I
would have just like, well, I guess there was an explanation, I suppose.
I think in Space Babies, for me, that it's set up that these guys are just so friendly and they're so good together as a traveling partnership.
Duo
dynamic partnership
in crime, partners in time. Coming 2024-5.
But the whole 6 month time jump, I don't get that. I don't think we have traveled 6 months with these characters. It just feels odd to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't. I'm like, oh, have we?
We haven't established what their stitch up is, because at least like with 12 and Clara, for example, it kind of set up that they were just like off and on traveling together towards the end, or in season 8 or something like that. And so when time travels through that over multiple episodes, time can pass between those visits.
Yeah.
Whereas this felt like, I was surprised we didn't pick up actually where we left off at the end of episode 1. Didn't need to, but yeah, I thought, yeah, it just blindsided me. Again, it's like that whole bi-generation thing where I was like, oh, we're doing this now, are we?
Yeah, I suppose, again, rewatching it, now you know all that, it'll be like probably a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, and I will enjoy it again.
Too.
I'll enjoy it more on rewatch, knowing what I'm going into.
I guess finally, what were your thoughts on the piano crossroad?
What the fuck was the point of that?
I suppose you already said your opinion about it. In fact, you yelled it.
I said it in person.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that about?
Did you like the TARDIS door like closing again? Done.
No.
Great.
It just felt like that should have been part of the musical number, I guess, if they were going to do it. I don't know if they were going for like, you know how the toy makers were still in a state of play, so I got a magical comical hammer and I'm going to hit the TARDIS and split it in two. I hate that. Lame. It just felt like that, where they're like, oh, we're still doing musicals, so we can still do this musical bit.
Yeah, it's like, it's still lingering.
Yeah. For how long? How much bullshit are we going to write?
Next week in Boom, it's like, I'm standing on a landmine, I might die. Oh my God, look at the sky.
Got to get that boom, boom, pow.
I got that boom, boom, that's the thing. Oh, so, his legions.
The fucking crows
what
now?
The fuck?
What is going
Russell,
on?
I'm sorry. Just let me say my piece.
They're like, we hate music.
It's just car. It was a delight. So the one who waits. That's who Jinx was referring to. It's like, he's nearly done waiting or some dumb shit.
So there's like an ultimate boss coming. The one who waits.
Who the fuck? Who next?
Sutek. Destroyer.
Sutek the Destroyer.
Sutek the Destroyer.
Okay.
He's waiting.
Where have you been? Sand.
Sand.
Where have you been? Sand. What do you do? Sand. What? Sorry. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, yeah. Any thoughts on that? Just the one who waits.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about these.
Well, I tried, folks.
Like, I'm looking. No. Like, I'm looking forward to where they go, but it's like they're just gonna keep saying the one who waits.
He's nearly here.
Torchwood. Bad Wolf.
He's nearly here.
Yeah.
Sutek.
We just have a lot of sayings floating around. I liked how like Bad Wolf is like said once or twice, but a lot of the time it's just in like graffiti in the background and you start to pick up on it. Wouldn't mind them doing a bit of that. But
There's just too many to keep track of.
mate, I can't even count them on my hands, and I have 10
And
fingers.
I just feel like they're just not at this rate. There's so many. I just feel like there's gonna be too many, and I don't feel like it's gonna pay off. And it's like,
Yeah.
and when they do, it's like, do I even give a shit? Not really.
But there's always a twist in the end.
And fuck off. That is so silly. And I hate people saying that Susan Twist's character is going to play Susan Foreman. It's like when Carolyn Ford is still alive.
Yeah.
It would just be so stupid and disrespectful to do that. All right.
Why does he travel with someone as stupid as you?
Okay, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. It feels so negative, this review, but I do.
I literally think I'm going to go home and rewatch it instantly.
Yeah, I'm going to
I feel
rewatch it and be like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But we'll amend that in our preview video.
Yeah, that's what we do. We can fix our fuck ups.
Me dog's locked in fucking Costa.
Okay. What do you want to rate it now, though, Con?
I'm going to give it a 6.5
Okay, I'm giving it a 6.
because I think it could go up.
I think it definitely could.
I enjoyed Space Odyssey so much more.
Yeah, it just had that Kennedy, didn't it?
The Kennedy, yeah.
Just had that Kennedy.
How the fuck? Why am I saying this sentence? How am I saying Space Babies was better than Devil's Chord?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh well.
It's like I like the Devil's Chord emotional weight,
You can't have it all, I guess.
but like it just didn't flow. Just didn't connect as much as I would have liked it to. And there's just a lot of question marks about some of the Maestro's intentions and a few CGI things with the notes that I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we pulling notes out of them?
Did you like her? It was
Her
like
wand?
spaghetti,
Yeah. That was,
and then she went.
she went,
No, she ate the chords. She did.
yeah.
the
Then
spaghetti.
they went,
Did she?
yeah.
She moaned in a sexual manner, and a chord came out. Okay,
I'm pretty sure that it's just me. Was that just me?
maybe.
All right. Well,
That's
just,
why you're watching the episode with a pillow over your lap.
Kill yourself.
sorry, I didn't mean to press both. Safe. Shut up, Cavaldi. I'm sorry, buddy.
All right.
Home again.
Sonic.
All right.
That shit can do anything. The fucking Sonic.
Blow it up. Get rid of the Sonic, mate. All right, guys. We'll be back on a Wednesday to preview
about
Boom.
Boom.
And we'll also get we want your thoughts on the episodes. So write them down below, just a little 1 sentence review, and we'll either upgrade or delete them, whether they're good or bad. It doesn't have to be about the episode. It could be about a specific thing. It could be about the Beatles. It could be about Jinx. And we just want your little takes about these last 2 episodes. So get writing them down below, and we will get replying to them for Wednesday's podcast.
Any last words?
Can't do a Beatles episode without the Beatles.
I think you still stand by that, don't you?
I do.
I understand where you're coming from. My belly rumbling.
It's like doing a Shakespeare episode without Shakespeare, without like a play.
It'll be so good that they won't even question why there was no Shakespeare in it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's what he said. They won't even question why there isn't a Beatles song in it. It's going to be that damn good. It's
Aidan's and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews
on a Saturday.
Doing Doctor Who reviews.
I think we filmed on every day now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think we've done every day.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Friday.
It's Friday, yeah.
You're a bit,
Saturday,
you're a bit
Sunday.
of a
What?
Black Eyed Peas mood today.
Friday, yeah. Saturday, Sunday. What? It's the musical episode of the pod.
This is more musical than fucking Devil's Chord was. There's more singing and dancing in it.
I like the episode. I'm sorry. It sounded so negative, the review. I liked it. I was just disappointed.
That's fair enough. You're allowed to be.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Send your crows after me now, Russell.
You'll never be on the official Doctor Who podcast.
Good, didn't want to. Next. Till Wednesday.